Rupert Lowe, please.
But in the end, people have got to fear that when they break the law, when they're deceitful, when they steal, they go to prison.
So, Rupert Lowe, please.
Thank you, Chairman. I don't quite know where to start. When I look at this report, I don't think this tells you all of the leakage that's taking place. If I was on the end of a report like this, I'd certainly not be complacent. So when I read, some areas of the MOD do not consider fraud to be a major risk and can be reluctant to engage. So I look at this, and I run lots of contracting business, we do lots of procurement, and I just don't think there's any joined up thinking evident here at all. And you're going to be spending a lot more than you're currently spending. Your whatever it is, 46 billion, is likely to go up to 75 billion. So if these endemic sort of cultural and structural inefficiencies continue, there's going to be more leakage, and therefore more taxes are going to be required on the private sector. So I think this is really very concerning. And I'd like to know, Jeremy, really, how are you going to improve this, and are you going to give it the seriousness that it requires?
I said at the outset of this hearing, Mr. Lowe, that I take this seriously. There's absolutely no room for complacency. It's the heart of my job, the job of everyone on this panel, but the department as well, to make sure that we are maximising the value we get from every pound of taxpayers' spend. That requires the controls in place. It requires
Can I just interrupt you, because you're talking generalities here. So through the report, theft of assets. Around 2/3 of these reports related to lost assets, with theft making up only 13%. Can you define lost assets? Question. Personnel and management issues and information exploitation. Failure to follow gifts and hospitality rules, abuse of flexible working time, and deceit and misrepresentation of financial advantage. Unlawfully obtaining and disclosing official documentation. I mean, look, this is serious stuff. So please don't talk generalities. What are you practically going to do to sort this out?
There is no disagreement.
These aren't generalities. These are actual events.
There is no disagreement between us on the seriousness and the importance of the issue. I will talk specifically about assets, and then I will talk about the wider strategy to deal with fraud, because there is actually a whole set of different issues that you are raising there. Control of assets is very important in a department like the Ministry.
So what is something lost? When you say lost assets, most of them are apparently lost. What does that mean? Does anyone get punished for losing an asset? In my business, if somebody loses an asset, if there's no justification for losing it, they have to pay for it.
We record and follow up all lost assets. The process is underpinned by our security control framework, where it happens.
You can have
to
as many
check
risk registers,
concerns.
as many processes, as many sort of analytical tools. In the end, you've got to send people to prison for being dishonest. And that's what you would do. I know we've got issues with the courts who don't punish people properly, but in the end, people have got to fear that when they break the law, when they're deceitful, when they steal, they go to prison. Perhaps you should start by getting your counter-fraud and the police teams to actually trust and work together. And that's your cultural problem. If people don't work together, nothing happens. So look, I think, Jeffrey, I've done my bit for now.
Well, I'd just like to build on that.
I think the whole lot of them are a bunch of pork-barreling clowns, and I find it incredible.